Welcome back to Real Reddit Moments, where we're not afraid to tackle the dark side of life, deep family conflicts, and controversial decisions. Today, we're diving into a story that has the Reddit community in a tizzy because of the extreme injustice and unacceptable behavior of a family. A story about a betrayal of trust and an unreasonable request that pushed a sibling relationship to the brink of destruction. The story is titled AITA for refusing to pay for my sister's college tuition after my parents used up my college fund. Is OP going too far in setting such a hard line, or is he just demanding the justice he deserves? This is the bitter story from Reddit user CollegeFundRobbed. We'll call him OP, a 23-year-old man. When OP was a child, his parents promised him a bright future. They would open a separate college savings fund for him, ensuring that he could pursue his educational dreams without worrying about financial burdens. That belief became the motivation for OP to study hard, always believing that he had a solid foundation for the future. But life is not always a dream. When OP turned 18 and was about to apply to college, he discovered a horrifying truth. His college fund was empty. His parents had quietly withdrawn all of that money without notice or explanation. When OP confronted them, they simply said they needed the money to pay bills and sudden financial difficulties. No apology, no compensation plan. OP, left with no other choice, was forced to work hard for years to pay for his own tuition, take out student loans, and work non-stop to complete his degree. 4 years later, OP is now 23, has just graduated, and has started a stable job with a decent salary. He is still working hard to pay off his student loans, but at least his life is on track. OP's younger sister, Lily, 18, is preparing to go to college. And like a scripted movie, she also wants to attend a prestigious, expensive university. One evening, OP's parents called him over to talk. They started with sweet words about brotherhood, family responsibility, and helping each other. Then they got straight to the point. They wanted OP to pay for Lily's college. OP's parents argued that now that OP had a job, Lily deserved the same opportunity to get an education as he did. They said that Lily was not at fault for OP's college fund being used up, and that it was now his responsibility to ensure she had a good future. This request was like a bucket of cold water on OP. He couldn't believe what he was hearing. After all he had been through, all those years of struggling to support himself, and now they wanted him to take care of his sister, OP flatly refused. He explained that he still had student debt and couldn't afford another expensive college, especially since he had been deprived of it himself. He also questioned his parents' responsibility in managing their finances and why they didn't have funds for Lily in the first place. The reaction from Lily and her parents was one of rage. They called OP selfish, heartless, unlike siblings, and unconcerned about family. Lily cried, saying that OP was ruining her future. The atmosphere in this family became extremely tense, and OP felt isolated and blamed. Torn between anger and criticism, OP turned to the Reddit community to ask AITA. OP's story exploded on Reddit, not only garnering tens of thousands of comments, but also causing an unprecedented wave of outrage. The community was unanimous in its decision, without hesitation. Without a doubt, the Reddit community chanted, "NTA, NTA, NTA." Most people praised OP for standing up for herself and setting boundaries with a toxic family. Top comment: NTA, 1,000 times NTA. Your parents are thieves. They stole your future and now want you to pay for their irresponsibility. It's not your sister's fault, but she's not your responsibility either. Never spend a penny. Pay your debts and build your own life. You don't owe them anything. This comment received tens of thousands of upvotes and countless Reddit awards, and is one of the most popular comments in AITA history. This is a classic case of financial and emotional abuse from parents. They have turned you into their personal bank and now want you to shoulder their responsibilities. Absolutely not. Your parents ruined your college fund and forced you to fend for yourself. Now they want you to do the same for your sister? This is not brotherhood. This is blatant exploitation. Stand your ground. Oh, your parents are financially strapped enough to spend their son's money, but not strapped enough to send another kid to an expensive school? Old script. NTA. In addition to being judgmental, the Reddit community also delved into other aspects, offering practical advice and emotional perspectives. Many suggested that OP should look into whether she could sue her parents to get back the stolen school fund, or at least threaten to do so. A number of comments suggested that OP should consider cutting off or severely distancing herself from her parents and sister because of this toxic behavior. This is not a family. This is a bloodsucker. The community stressed that the responsibility for raising a child lies with the parents, not the siblings. Blaming OP is completely unacceptable. Some people think that Lily needs to face reality and not rely on others, especially when she had no fault in OP's money being taken. After receiving almost complete support from the community, OP gained the strength to face his family. He has given some important updates on the developments since then. OP had a very tense conversation with his parents and Lily. He recounted everything he had been through and firmly refused any requests for money. OP's parents and Lily have not spoken to OP in a long time. OP admits that the family relationship has been severely damaged, but he feels relieved that he stood his ground. OP is now focused on paying off his student loans and building his career. He prioritizes his financial and mental health over the approval of a toxic family. OP feels very relieved and free now. Although he is a bit sad about his family relationship, he realizes that it is necessary to protect himself from being exploited. He is proud that he did not let himself be manipulated again and is building a good life for himself. He has no regrets about his decision. OP's story is a heartbreaking yet powerful example of the challenges many people face with toxic family members. It highlights core issues of fairness, responsibility, and self-worth. Conflicting emotions in the story in anger and injustice, feelings of being blatantly taken away, and then asked to shoulder someone else's responsibilities. Frustration and betrayal. Broken trust in parents and feeling taken advantage of by loved ones. Emancipation. Finally, the freedom of standing up and setting boundaries. The Reddit community, in this case, was not just a forum, but a voice of social conscience. They provided a huge source of validation and support, helping OP realize that he was not wrong. This proves that sometimes empathy and judgment from a larger community can be a powerful force for individuals to face injustices in real life. Character analysis. OP, narrator, represents a young person who was taken advantage of but eventually found the strength to stand up for his rights. He is a symbol of resilience and self-reliance. Parents represents toxic parents who put their own interests above their responsibilities and fairness to their children. They show financial irresponsibility and emotional abuse. Lily, sister, may be a victim of manipulation by her parents, but also shows immaturity in her willingness to blame and ask for help from her brother who was treated unfairly. Lessons learned. Set boundaries with toxic families. This is the most important lesson. No matter how much you love your family, you must protect yourself from toxic behavior, financial or emotional exploitation. The value of college funds. The story emphasizes the importance of protecting your children's college funds. No one owes you an easy life. Lily is not at fault, but OP is not responsible for sacrificing for her. Everyone must take responsibility for their own life and future. The power of saying no. Sometimes saying no to unreasonable requests, no matter how difficult, is a necessary action to protect yourself and build a healthy life. The importance of financial independence. The story is a reminder to build a solid financial foundation for yourself so that you are not dependent on others. OP's story is a heartbreaking yet hopeful testament to the fact that we can overcome life's greatest challenges even when they come from those we love the most. We hope this story will inspire you to stand up for yourself, set clear boundaries, and build the life you deserve. What do you think of this story? How would you handle OP's situation? Have you ever been in a similar situation? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Thanks for following Real Reddit Moments. See you next time.